What's up, people? To everybody listening on their favorite podcasting platform, welcome. To everybody watching
Welcome.
on YouTube, welcome. We appreciate you
Welcome.
being here. Let's get into the show. Welcome to episode 262. We've been doing this for a long time. Of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ask Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. For sure. How y'all doing?
I am the RJ.
Only known as.
The RJ.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports. And Kay Harris, the gentleman,
The gentleman.
happens to not be here this week. So make sure y'all send the good and positive vibes up to him. We're going to keep it rolling for show.
Should we tell him to do something wild in his comments?
You said what?
Should we tell people to do something wild in his comments, like sending eggplant emojis or something?
Oh, he would be like,
what up, Mark?
Oh, what's up, Mark?
Oh, here you go.
Hey, Mark ain't wasting no time giving us the news.
Straight facts.
We're going to get into it. But if you think of anything, Eric, for the people to do in his comments, you just say the word.
Okay.
He ain't
Tomatoes.
gonna listen to this anyway.
No, tomatoes.
Mm-mm.
Put hella tomatoes in his comments.
Tomato.
Mm-hmm. Right at him.
Hey,
when we do his socials, we'll have something for y'all to put in his comments.
Shoot, I'm cool with the tomato. Okay. Sport fact of the week. What we got?
We got two. One comes from Tim Ken's 3. The other is that on August 30th, 1997, the first WNBA championship was awarded to the Houston Comets, who defeated the New York Liberty. So shout out to the W. We're in the throes of the WNBA playoffs right now, so it felt topical. But also, Tim found this great stat that on August 29th, 2001, Serena Williams won the U.S. Open. Albert Pujols hit a home run. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Craig Biggio, and Dante Bichette all hit. Thank you. Okay, August 29th, 2001, Serena Williams won at the U.S. Open. Albert Pujols hit a home run. Vlad Guerrero Sr., Craig Biggio, Dante Bichette all recorded a hit. All right, August 29th, 2001.
Yeah, all right.
August 29th, 2022, Serena Williams won at the U.S. Open. Albert Pujols hit a home run. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Kevin Biggio, and Bo Bichette all recorded a hit. So shout out to the legends for still hanging on. And shout out to the multi-generational father-son duos in the MLB.
Dude, Albert Pujols, they said, hit 8 home runs in August. Like he's up there with
fountain of youth.
Dude, since he came back to St. Louis. It's been since he came back to the Cardinals. Like, he was over there in L.A. He was,
wasting away.
He was kind of, spin cycle.
Fountain of youth. Allegedly.
Right. He got back with his old staff.
Mm-hmm.
It's my last year, bro. Just let it slide. I'm on my way out.
But to that point, like, who goes through and finds, like, like, how do you even find that stat? Like, some stats is just like you can just pin like a filter and you figure it out. But like this, you gotta be like, did this dad hit? And did this dad hit? And did this son hit? and then Pujols hit. What did Pujols do on this day? What are Serena? You know, like it's just like how do you fit?
It's the wild stuff.
But shout out to Dan Clark Sports on Twitter, which is where Tim got the stat from.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, he said shout out to at Robbie Fingers for the Pujols Williams part of the stat. So there we go.
That's a detailed stat.
Everybody's putting their credits out there. Look at that. Citing your sources.
Hey, we try to do
novel concept, Stephen A. Smith. Stealing A. Smith.
Stephen A.
Stealing.
Give it to me.
Boy.
That's when he told on himself. It's like everything else could have been coincidental. When you took the give it to me, it's like, all right, he be listening.
Like we know where that one's from. We know where that one's from. We be seeing them listens coming in from Bristol, New York. But
I did see the braids, Mark. That was pretty dope.
We're gonna talk about Serena for sure. Our TGN show. So we have an exclusive show. We don't only do this show once a week. We do 2 shows every week. Our second show is dubbed Overtime. And you can catch Overtime exclusive on the Good News Radio Network. So you can download that app or head to the website and listen to the show there. Or you can check it out on our YouTube page. So if you're watching this video right now on YouTube, go and hit the video with a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you go and do that. Because it's a lot of good stuff on our YouTube page. In addition to our Overtime show, you'll also be able to see clips from our weekly shows. And if we do anything else, like we did a pizza taste test, which was like a year ago now, which is wild to think about.
Yeah, that was all out last year.
Yeah. That chip done.
And that's on Saturday.
Wait, so both shows are on Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh. That does. Okay. That makes things okay.
That's what I was like, oh, okay.
But yeah, make sure that y'all check out Overtime every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. And if you can't catch the show live, that is okay. You can catch the replay on the Good News Radio app, the Good News website, or our YouTube page.
Speaking of the chip challenge, these cats at work just did this stuff Friday afternoon. They did the 2022 chip challenge.
What is that?
The same one that we want to take. The one chips. Yeah, they have a new one. They update it every year. So they took it, and apparently it was 3 of them. 2 of them threw up. I was like, bro, this is not encouraging. They have instructions in the box that tells you the stages and what you're going to feel at each stage. I was like, what? So then he took the paper out. He was like, I pretty much hit every stage. It was like your body goes into shock. You get chills. It was like, then all of a sudden, it's just like a sensory overload.
Why do y'all want to do this chip challenge?
When I read that, I was like, man, they might got me fucked up on this one.
I've been saying that for a year now.
I had to pull over on the way home. He's like, because they left work right away. I had to pull over on the way home on the freeway to throw up, but it was worse because it was still all the hot shit coming back.
You're not making me want to do this.
I said the same thing when I heard it. I was like, but I might bitch up on this one. I was like, boy, I don't want to go through the 7 stages of hell. Like I'm Dante. Like, nah, bro, I don't want to do all of that.
We can. Can me and Tim just have half a chip each?
Why we gotta have any of the chip?
I'm just saying if we have to do it, fam. I'm not eating a whole one. I've been saying that.
I think I've already accepted that y'all not going to do it. So
I was all gung ho for. I was the only nigga that was ready to go.
He was your biggest cheerleader before, but
after talking to them on Friday, they were like, "Tim, you want to do it?" And I thought about it for a minute. I stood there. I was like, "Yeah, give me a chip." And they was like, "Oh, we ain't got another one." I was like, "How the fuck am?"
So you work with some Tims?
Yep.
No. I was just like, all right, bro. So they was like, you sure you don't want to do it? I was like, how am I going to do it? They like, we can find you another chip. No.
Find you a chip.
They
just pick up a chip from a bag of Doritos. Just pour hot sauce
some of the seasoning on
I'm leaving, bro. I'm out. But they did, and they when I heard the stories, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not trying to do that.
All right. But yeah, make sure I check out Overtime.
Whoops.
The game that needs a name. if you are unfamiliar with what the game that needs a name is, it's a rapid fire game where we pick a topic and we each try to name something related to said topic until there is one person remaining. We only get about 5 seconds or so, no repeats. And I think that pretty much sums it up. So, Tim, did you do your homework this week? Any topics?
MCU characters.
Well, I have people like actors that have been in the MCU film, so that's kind of similar.
Tim's is easier. Tim's is way easier. I don't know actors' names.
It's supposed to be easy.
I'm like, oh yeah, She-Hulk. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, we can do characters that work for me.
All right, MCU. Tim, since you started or had the idea, you can go first, and Eric, then me, and we can bounce around that way.
Fair enough.
MCU characters. Let's go.
Iron Man.
Captain America.
Black Panther.
Thor.
Doctor Strange.
Shuri.
Thanos.
Black Widow.
Killmonger.
Red Skull.
Erskine.
Moon Knight.
The Watcher.
Ultron.
Hulk.
Abomination. Ooh, I was close.
She-Hulk.
God dang you.
Agatha.
Vision.
Vashon. No, I'm
Stop stalling.
Damn. I'm out too.
Wait, we giving her Vashon?
No.
No. She said she was out. We said Vision.
I got you. Oh, I win. Hey. Yes, Megan Thee Stallion does count. She's gonna be on She-Hulk.
Yeah. Megan Thee Stallion. Okay.
Do we be tuned in for that one?
I'm about to. You see what happened when she had a David Banner moment when
somebody dropped their phone?
Hell yeah! I was like, bro, David, that's all. No, you couldn't have did that shit because then that'd have been disgusting. That'd have been disgusting.
You know,
I mean, it would have been worse for her. Like, you don't know where that phone been.
Right. And never mind. We're gonna go into detail.
But that'd be the only day I'd be jealous of a phone. I tell you that.
Before we get into the topics of the week, I do want to remind y'all something. Go on, get y'all Tech File merch. The link is live on our link tree. Go ahead, support the pod. Get your Tech File merch. We got hoodies, we got bucket hats, we got shirts, we got socks, we got sweatpants, we got flip flops, shot glasses. Like, we got it all. So go and get it.
Go buy some merch, bro.
Yeah, Mark, go ahead and get your merch, man. We see you in the chat. Go ahead and get your merch, man. Get your merch.
Hey, yeah, shout out to
Gilbert Mitchell. Not Tech File merch, but it is.
Oh, Tech. It was.
Did you go to Tech?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you went to Riverside for some reason.
Do not put that on me.
Ken somewhere going like, how dare you? But no.
Yeah, no, like, I definitely would have known Ken then because like we were the same grade.
That is true. That is very true. All right, y'all. So because it is Labor Day on Monday, and thank God for a long extended holiday, this is going to be ran as a holiday episode, meaning that instead of me running point, what we are going to do here instead is go in tech order. So Tim, Eric, myself, Ken's not here, so we'll go back to Tim and just keep picking topics to discuss throughout the show. So Tim, go ahead and lead us off.
All right, so we got a couple of NFL topics. I'm going to start off with one of them. The NFL Top 100 came out, right? So, top 10 is as follows: Travis Kelce, Jalen Ramsey, Patrick Mahomes.
From 10 to 1.
Yeah, yes, 10 to 1. All right, 10 is Travis Kelce, 9 is Jalen Ramsey, 8 is Patrick Mahomes, 7 is Devontae Adams, 6 is TJ Watt, 5 is Jonathan Taylor, 4 is Cooper Kupp, 3 is Aaron Rodgers, 2 is Aaron Donald, and 1 is Tom Brady. Now, is there any arguments to be made as to why Tom should or should not be number 1?
I mean, it's a list that's voted on by the players.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times this list tends to be like a year or two late. So if the players feel as if Tom Brady is still the best NFL player in the entire league, so be it. Like these, I used to get really worked up about these lists, but now I'm just like, dude, fine. If that's how you feel, fine. I really don't care that much. Although I do think it's weird that only 2 Packers made the top 100 list. Like, how is Aaron Jones not on here?
Underrated. Devontae Campbell, I think.
Yeah.
Damn, Kenny Clark ain't right there.
No Kenny Clark. No Aaron Jones. No Jair Alexander. No.
Wait,
Jair was hurt. Like, I get that.
Oh yeah,
he was hurt. But like, sometimes they still be able to get to like the 90s.
Oh, it's okay because our whole defense gonna be on that bit next year.
I would say shout out. I mean, like Camille, I know what you'll say, but shout out. We got 2 Badgers in the top 10. Jonathan Taylor, TJ Watt.
I do like Jonathan Taylor though.
Man, Jonathan Taylor's
he banks in my bank.
And honestly, putting Cooper Kupp over JT feels wrong to me. Like, and that's nitpicking at this point. Like, I think Jonathan Taylor is probably the most complete running back in the NFL right now. I don't think Cooper Kupp is the best wide receiver in the league. So him being there,
who is Tay?
I'd rather have Tay. Like, there's not a route he can't run. Like, give me Devontae Adams over Cooper Kupp any day.
I mean, we'll see. He ain't got Rodgers no more. We'll see who he gonna see.
I really do think that some of the young wide receivers is making a name for themselves, and they're gonna be up there next year too. I mean, this year.
We know I have at the top of that list. Yeah, to Mark's point, Kupp did win the Triple Crown last year.
He did, and that's in large part because Stafford was going to force feed his man, similar to how Rodgers force fed Devontae Adams. But the reason that I'm still saying Adams over Kupp is just what I see with my eyes. Like, I believe that Devontae is a better route runner. I believe Devontae is a better route runner. I think he has better hands. Like, I just think he's a better player, although Cooper Kupp might have had a better year. To me, this isn't the same list. Like, to me, it's a list of who are the best players right now in this moment, not which players had the best stats last year. What's the order there? So,
because if that's the case, then Brady wouldn't be one like Rodgers would be, because he won MVP.
Right. So, like, nah, that ain't it. But even seeing Aaron Rodgers at 3 had me kind of like,
like,
I mean, like, he won MVP, but it's like I didn't know if how people would perceive his performance.
What was he the year before? Was he top?
For players? Wasn't he MVP that year too?
Yeah, but I was like, I don't know if he was top 5 last year. He could have been, but I don't know if he was. But
he was. He was 3 last year too.
Oh, okay.
This is the same top 3.
No, it looks like, let's see, the top 3 last year was Aaron Rodgers at 3, Aaron Donald at 2, and then Patrick Mahomes at 1.
Okay. I remember Donald and Rodgers back to back.
And Derrick Henry was 4 last year.
I think he's 11 or 12 this year.
Yeah.
And he got hurt. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting seeing what happens over there in Tennessee, because their offense got tinkered with a little bit. So it's gonna be definitely interesting to see what Tennessee got cooking. But I like Malik Willis over there.
Haven't they've lost like their last couple offensive coordinators? Like, they had LaFleur obviously, and then they had whoever coaches in Atlanta. I know he came from the Titans. I feel like, like it's kind of like the Spurs, where it's like over time, like that brain drain kind of like, it takes effect, where it's like you're so successful that you keep losing coaches. But then because you lose those talented coaches, like, the coach staff isn't as strong, even if the players are, maybe getting better, or at least like where they were. So I feel like that's part of it. But like, to your point, I have seen people be really excited about Wills.
Actually, to your point about the coaching and the brain drain, and the coaches going to new teams, like, I think that's one thing that's probably discounted with the Devontae Adams thing and with the Raiders. Like, he's going over there with Josh McDaniels too, who is like still considered, like a creative offensive genius in the NFL. So it's like, maybe the throws may not be the same, but maybe the yardage might, because he may cook some shit up over there, boy. Like, I mean, it's orchestrating.
Right, it's his college quarterback too. So like, the same level of like, that's my guy, I'm gonna get him the ball, is probably there. Like, he doesn't have to work up like the trust with the new quarterback. or whatever. Like they already have a rapport. He already is like, yo, I'm coming your way. Just catch this shit. You know what I mean? So.
And from what I've heard out of Raiders camp, Tay's hands are as sure as they've ever been, and they are making connections all over the field, and they're kind of downplaying it, like, well, we still got time, and we're still working some things out. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he gonna be a menace this year. He probably get 15. I
mean,
still see him getting 15.
They in a tough division.
He got some weapons with him though. Like he ain't alone.
I didn't say he was. I just said it's a tough division.
Waller.
Mm-hmm.
Like you going up against the Chargers and the Chiefs and the Broncos. So like,
no, that Chargers defense is wild too, bro. Like the Chargers team as a whole, I don't think I heard people talking about it, but I don't know if they're getting talked about like that. Like the Chargers squad is nice.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not cutting you off for no reason, Tim. I'm gonna just tell y'all this. On Thursday, for overtime, the show I mentioned earlier, we'll be doing our NFL preview show. So if this is the kind of content that you are interested in, hearing us talk about the different teams, toughest divisions, who we have winning each division, losing divisions, who the wild cards are gonna be, Super Bowl predictions, all that good stuff. Y'all need to tune in on Thursday and hear our NFL preview show. Sure. It's called a tease, ladies and gentlemen.
I was literally about to say the same thing verbatim.
Like Tim was about to get going. I know Tim. He's about to start.
Yeah, no. I saw. We right here, fam. Like I synced it.
Any other thoughts on that list, or is it Eric's turn to pick something?
No, I'm actually good. I'm happy to see Jalen Ramsey up there still. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a fun season.
So we mentioned the AFC West. I just wanted to point out the Raiders' first round picks from 2019 to 2021. 2019 they picked defensive end Cleveland Farrell, running back Josh Jacobs, and safety Jonathan Abram. All three had their fifth-year options decline. 2020 they picked Henry Ruggs III and Damon Arnett. Both were waived following off-field incidents. In 2021, they picked Alex Leatherwood, who they waived after one season. So, shout out to Mike Mayock and John Gruden and their drafting, because, goddamn, they're the new Knicks. Because since Charlie Ward in '93, the Knicks haven't signed a first-round pick to a second contract.
That's
until yesterday.
That is some wild stuff, bro.
Yeah. And I say until yesterday because they signed RJ Barrett to a 4-year, $120 million contract extension.
Mm-hmm.
Which
complicates that Donovan Mitchell trade a little bit.
Which I don't appreciate that from Woj. Like, the power of the power of how you phrase things, and for him to tack that on to the announcement of the contract extension, that just completely kills RJ Barrett's shine for that moment. It's it can be in a follow-up tweet, but to put it in the original news breaking tweet, that just makes it more about the Donovan Mitchell trade than it does RJ Barrett, and you don't do that for anybody else.
That's fair.
But congratulations to RJ Barrett, first and foremost.
Mm.
Yeah, now they have big money locked into a Jalen Brunson and why am I blanking on that? Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett core.
Yum.
Good luck. You better put all them picks in to get Donovan, because that sounds like a playing team at best to me.
I mean, to be fair, RJ Barrett's gotten better each year, and his points per game has gone up each year.
Still a playing team.
I'm just saying, his development is not it's been stagnant.
His points per game have gone up, but the efficiency hasn't. He hasn't really become a better shooter. I think still has room to grow, and he's 21, 22 maybe. So he's not a finished product by any means, but I don't know that. Obviously, he was picked behind Zion and Ja, so even with all Zion's issues, I don't feel like he's on that same trajectory as those two. So I don't know if he's a cornerstone, this is who we're gonna build our franchise around, but he's a good piece to have going forward, and I think the Knicks could the next good Knicks team will have RJ Barrett be a big part. Wait, what?
Giannis did not put up 62 in the Euros. That's a fake tweet.
Oh Lord.
A fake tweet. He had 26 in the game, and people are saying he had 62 in.
What? Oh, they just flipped the numbers?
They just flipped it. It got me for a second too. He didn't put up 62.
Sorry, that completely derailed me. I'm like,
Eric's eyes popped out of his head.
Like, he did drop 40 in the Euro game, which I think was like a record. So
it was his record. That was the game against Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic put up that 3 that he put on him. I was like, oh, okay.
It was a good game. I watched that game from the beginning. That was a good game. And in case anybody is interested, Eurobasket starts on Thursday, I believe. And all of those games, if I remember correctly, will be on the ESPN app.
Yeah.
So it's going to be some fun because you're going to be able to see players like Giannis and Luka and Rudy Gobert, Jokic, Dennis Schroeder. Like it's some NBA players over there.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize that this year was the World Cup too. I was like, oh, okay, we got the soccer, yeah. I was like, because I was looking, I was like, oh, hey, I was just thinking about the world tournaments that's kind of taking place. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Mark, I think Luka's injury wasn't serious.
No, he came back in that same game. He was getting bussed by Dennis Schroeder in that game, I believe, if I remember correctly. Well, maybe not him directly, but his team was.
Oh yeah, they got torched by Schroeder.
That's what I thought.
Getting that ass. He like, I'm playing for a contract, man. I'm like,
right.
We doing this all over again, huh? What was that? 2 years all over again? 2 years ago?
He's looking for a job right now. He still ain't signed.
He was trying to get the Lakers, and they traded for a point guard. So
he can get over there not for the free, but he can still get there if he wants to.
He don't want to. He's trying to play basketball at the same time.
Right.
But
RJ, congratulations. I did want to at least like focus on that for a minute before we get into like what that means for Donovan Mitchell. Honestly, from all the reporting that has gone on this summer, I don't think that it really changes much of anything. It's like Utah apparently wasn't interested in RJ because they would have had to pay him right away, which rebuild. They don't want to like have a max or near max player on their books off top. And yeah, like Utah really only wants draft picks, so and that's apparently what they're arguing about. Like I think somebody said that 4 unprotected first plus a couple of protected first, and the Knicks are holding firm at 2 unprotecteds, and we can supplement with picks that are protected. So I still think that eventually it's gonna happen because
he did.
They have the best offer to offer, and I feel like they don't have to put in everything to beat every other team's best offer.
Do you think it gets done before training camp?
Danny Ainge is stubborn, so probably not. Like if he's not getting the deal that he wants, but I think eventually they'll close the gap. There'll be 3 unprotected first.
And what do you think? You said plus a couple, so what, 2 or 3? 2 or 3 more.
I mean, again, like Gobert kind of, wrecked the market. So he did what, 6 first?
If you count the player that he got this year, yeah.
If you count Walker Kessler. His name can go like for some reason both ways sound right.
Yeah, he got 2 first. Who got 2 last names? Technically.
2 last names. Yeah.
But yeah. So I think that. Even still, like it's the unprotected first that they're haggling over because the Knicks are like, "Hey, if we stink, like we don't want to be like the Lakers." Essentially, it don't hit the same when Ken ain't here.
It just goes into a void.
Yeah, it's like I don't have anybody like, "Hey, well, ain't that a bitch?" I've lost my whole train of thought. Oh yeah, like so it's the unprotected first that they're haggling over. I think that they'll still get a couple of extra protected ones.
Let me ask this because Tim kind of balked when you were naming what Utah is looking for in a Donovan Mitchell return. Mm-hmm. Tim, if you were the GM of the Knicks, Would you pull that trigger to get Donovan Mitchell? He's thinking, folks, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that actual wheels.
The anguish. 3 firsts, unprotected is cool. I can do that. I can give you like 2 pick swaps, right? I'm not giving you the damn pick. We can switch, but and I can give you 2 protected. That's a lot of picks.
So you would
7.
do.
That's 7. That's just 1 more than Gobert. But I'm keeping technically 2 of them. I'm not giving you.
It's a swap.
Right,
I understand your logic here.
So I'm giving you 5, but you can take the lesser of my R2 if that's the case, and you'd be happy with that, because if I'm giving you flat out 7, which is just 1 more than what Gobert was worth, because people value Donovan Mitchell or say that he's worth more than Gobert. Still, that's a lot of picks. But I can ration if it's swaps. If it's just flat out protected and unprotected picks, that's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You don't know.
Yeah, but like to that point, like I think it's crazy where people talk about Donovan Mitchell now as opposed to like literally 300 days ago. Like if we were in this conversation then, they'd be like, hell yeah, you know, whatever picks you got to throw in, like it's Donovan Mitchell. That's an all-star. That's the best player that the Knicks have had easily since Carmelo. Like it's a no-brainer. But I feel like people are so sour on Donovan Mitchell, which I mean, like he didn't have a great year, but it's still like you've seen the talent, you see what he can do. He needs to start giving a damn on defense, but I think it's still like a good borderline great player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've been high on Mitchell. I remember your preseason prediction last year. One of them was that Mitchell was going to have like a super crazy year. So I get it. So if you were the GM of the Knicks, you make this trade.
I mean, like within reason. Like I'm not going to sell my whole future for it, but like people are talking about like why are the Knicks even trying to get Donovan Mitchell? Like what does that do for you? You know, like it's like
prestige.
I mean, he's a good basketball player that was the best player on the 1 seed last year. Like that won 60 games. Like it's not. He's not trash. He's not even like a middling like, and he's still like 26, something like that. Like he's entering his prime. Like it's wild to me like what the discourse is around him currently.
That's fair. Speaking of 8, this is off the cusp, but I did not realize that Jason Tatum was only 24 years old. I was like, Jesus. For some reason in my head, he was about 20, 26, 27, but
I think he's just been getting his shit off like since he came in the league, so I just feel like he's been around for forever.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell turns 26 on the 7th, so next week.
Yeah, this cat's is walling.
Yeah, since we're talking about NBA, I'm gonna stay there and just mention the fact that the Los Angeles Lakers traded THT, Talen Horton-Tucker, and they traded Stanley Johnson to the Utah Jazz for Patrick Beverly is now a member of the Los Angeles Lakers with his new teammate, Russell Westbrook, who he's had beef with for almost 10 years now. But apparently Beverly was very eager to join the Lakers. Even when he was doing his big ESPN media tour, he mentioned the fact, if you put me on the Lakers, we're a playoff team. And apparently he's thrilled to be heading to LA. And
I mean, that's not saying much, man. Like it's like you got LeBron James, Anthony Davis on the team. You're supposed to be a playoff team. Like you're not making a difference there.
Hey,
like if they're healthy, they're a playoff team. Huh?
He's only missed the playoff once.
I was saying, I feel like he does make a difference. Like Patrick Beverly gets shat on every now and then, like mainly offensively because he's not considered an offensive player. And then you get the Russell Westbrook quote that he just running around and doing a whole bunch of nothing, but he actually his stats show that he actually is doing a whole bunch of something because he locking cats up to the lowest field goal percentage. I think it was behind Giannis when he's contesting the shot. Like shit's kind of wild. Like when you think about it, he's always there. And so people most of the time don't consider him, anything more than just a defensive. Either, if you believe what Russ said, a defensive yapper, or somebody who actually is a defensive player. But on the offensive end, right? But on the offensive end, he can still give you like 12 to 13 with like 4 assists and like 4, because he actually rebound like 4 rebounds too. So it's not like you get nothing from that position on offense.
No, like, to clarify, I'm not saying like he's not a difference maker. I'm saying like he's not what makes them a playoff team. Like, they should be a playoff team. The fact that they weren't last year is kind of an indictment on everything else. But like, one is mainly that AD and LeBron weren't healthy for most of the season. Like, that's why they weren't a playoff team. That's my only point. Yes, and Pat Beverly like will improve this team. Like, I see Darvin Ham really is the Bucks over there. Like, that's the George Hill, Eric Bledsoe role.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna give him Drew.
No, don't give him Drew. He ain't that. But what I will say, like, I wish Ken was here. I did see him tweet that he's not a fan of this move. He personally does not like Patrick Beverly. I saw on Twitter he had a tweet that just said Pat Bev is a BAN, and that's all his tweet said. If you know what those letters stand for, then you know what they stand for. If you don't,
how did we get here?
I'm just telling you what Ken said. I'm telling you what our Lakers fan said. He was not happy about the trade. Mark has a comment right now just saying how long until Pat and Russ scrap. That's the question I had. But reports are saying apparently the two of them have squashed their beef. But we'll see how long that's actually squashed, because another rumor coming out of all this is that this Patrick Beverly trade is indicative of Russell Westbrook not being with the team much longer. Then there's other rumors talking about this isn't the last move the Lakers are going to make this offseason. It's kind of like the first move that they plan to make. So we'll see how it goes. But just in a vacuum, looking at this one move in itself, without anything else happening, I don't see like starting wise. Like, are you starting Pat Bev? Are you starting Russ? Are you starting both of them? Like, I'm curious to what that looks like there. But I do think that Pat Bev brings something to this team that they need, which is a defensive point guard. And at this point, Pat Bev is aging, so he is clearly not the defender that he was before, but he's still already the best perimeter defender on this team next to who was the new Caruso they got? I can't think of his name right now.
AR.
Austin Reeves?
Is it Austin Reeves? I believe so. Yeah.
The new white kid?
Yeah. So, I mean, they need Pat Bev because they were getting cooked at the point of attack. So he'll definitely be better there. But to Eric's point, what really makes this team go is actually like LeBron's going to be LeBron. You already know what you're going to get from there. He can take a team to the playoffs by himself. But what they need is Anthony Davis to play like the all-star, quote-unquote, top 75 NBA player that he apparently is.
A legend. All
shade meant in that statement. But we'll see. Tim, back on you.
Let's do Dallas Cowboys left tackle Tyron Smith suffered a torn left hamstring in Wednesday's practice. Last week, Wednesday's practice, and is out indefinitely. Now, the thing with this is this continues a string of injuries in recent years. Smith has not played a full season since 2015 as he's dealt with knee, ankle, neck, and elbow injuries. He missed 14 games in 2020 because of a neck surgery, and he missed 6 games last season due to an ankle injury and a stint on the COVID list. He is the longest senior Cowboy and turns 32 in December. But he's also been the anchor of that left side of that line as the left tackle for years and years and years. I forgot that Darren McFadden was running behind this man. Like, he got 1,000. Like, he didn't help produce a bunch of thousands and he protected the blind side for a while. So them losing him is no misstep. But they did just draft the first round left tackle this year as well, who was, I guess in essence, they was looking at him to be a successor anyways. But I guess you have to throw the rookie out there right away. But this is still going to be like a big blow for them because us being Packer fans kind of know what it's like to lose a major side of or one of your major linemen and then have to kind of do the offensive lineman shuffle. And thankfully, the Packers seem to have found the the key to producing the offensive lineman needed for this organization. As we be popping out linemen like popcorn, but not all organizations are really good at that. So for you to have lost a key piece like Smith to plug in your rookie, he may have stints initially, but then they all have usually hit a rookie wall, which then causes issue if it's your blind side blocker.
Mm-hmm.
I get where you're coming from, but also like you have to think about like the coaching staff that they do have. Like it's Joe Philbin, offensive line coach. You have Mark McCarthy. Like they're the ones that basically set up that infrastructure in Green Bay. So if anybody can kind of, I mean, Bakhtiari was a rookie left tackle that they just threw out there because.
No, I mean I hear you, but Joe Philbin ain't giving advice to like. He might be like, oh, I think these are highly ranked, linemen, but like the front office is really the one pulling that trigger. Mike McCarthy probably has a lot more say than someone like Joe Philbin does, but.
Well, I mean, I was just saying like their ability to kind of coach them up to be able to scheme around. Maybe we need to shift a little bit more attention to this weak link on the line. Like they've shown a propensity to have strong offensive linemen. They get the most out of their players. You know what I mean? Even with Philbin's issues in Miami, like the offensive line wasn't necessarily like the biggest part of that.
I hear you. You can only coach up what you have in your room.
Right.
So hopefully the Dallas scouting team has done a good job. To Tim's point, that is something that the Packers tend to do very well, to a point of frustration for some fans because they feel like we draft too many offensive linemen. But it works out for the Packers. Like they invest in that position and it pays dividends for it. But that's a big blow for the Cowboys. We're going to talk about it on overtime, but I really don't know how I feel about this team. I think they're going to take a step back this upcoming season because they were pretty good last year, but we'll definitely talk about it.
They only have one quarterback on the roster right now.
Do they really?
Ooh. I thought I saw a tweet that said the Cowboys cut everybody's back.
They cut DiNucci? I think they did cut DiNucci. Hold on, Cowboys roster.
Look it up, y'all. Keep going.
Tim, you for the injuries, you're supposed to read all of them.
It was more than,
you just want to touch your Cowboys.
No, I wasn't trying to use that man's injury as
they released Cooper Rush and Bill Greer, making Dak the only quarterback on the team.
Interesting. So I'm curious who they're gonna pick up. That's interesting.
Somebody. I don't think you can go into the season with one quarterback.
Right. Or they can just keep it open unless they need to.
I wonder who they practice squad until they need them.
But I mean, like they need somebody to line up like as a quarterback backup in case he get hurt. Like you need
practice squad quarterback
at the very least.
I mean,
but you activate them in the middle of the game.
Right. They get 3 call-ups for practice squad, so maybe I don't know how they plan to do this. They're definitely going to have to get a backup quarterback. Maybe they're looking at who else got cut around the league. I don't know. Maybe they want Danny Etling or something. I don't know. But they can't just go into the season with no one quarterback. They can't.
Wait, time out. So you can call up people from the practice squad for like a game and then send them back down?
I believe you get 3. I'm sure, Mark, I know you in the comments, fam. Let me know the practice squad rules, but I'm pretty sure because this year they extended the practice squad to 16 guys that you can have on your practice squad now. Mm-hmm. 6 of those guys on the practice squad do not need to have any particular experience, so they can have played for 10 years or 1 year.
They can play like us.
And then, so you get 3 games. Mark just confirmed 3 games. Practice squad players get called back and forth. After the 3rd game, you have to either choose to call them up officially. Yeah. So,
for this year, because I've never heard that before.
It might be updated. They might have updated it with the extended roster size for the practice squad. But
interesting.
Continue on with the injury news, sir.
New York Giants wide receiver Colin Johnson tore his Achilles, the team said. According to reports, his Achilles. Johnson had impressed and looked primed for serious plans. I don't know what the hell going on with the Giants wide receiver room. They talking about Darius Slayton and trade talks. Kenny Golladay, they said, is trash right now.
He wasn't even a lot to make the roster.
Only because of his contract. Because if they trade him, they get a $31 million cap hit. and dead money. He ain't going nowhere. He's just gonna be there. Like they talking about rookies is starting to look better than my boy. Like he ain't did nothing in 2 years. Like that's wild.
Yeah,
he ain't got no touchdowns last year.
Being Kenny Galladay.
I thought he was going to be doing good over there in with the Giants because they had the Slayton and they had the other cat, but both of them stay getting hurt.
Yeah, I don't. NFC East is going to be.
No,
it's going to be something.
No, it's Phillies. The NFC East is Phillies.
Yeah, it's going to be something.
They traded for what's the name? McPunchie.
McPunchie? Who was McPunchie?
Yeah, Johnson from the Saints, the corner that was that snatched the old boy mouth guard and then got into it with the Bears wide receiver.
McPunchie.
You just be making up big.
Right.
But now he's on the Eagles, and now they got a nice secondary. They got a nice secondary.
They also they released because I only saw we got we have Twitter alerts set up for Schefter and Rappaport. So I just saw names coming across and be like, oh, I saw the Eagles release their starting safety, but then they traded for this kid. So
yeah, he did.
I don't know if that means anything, but
yeah, I don't know. But now all of a sudden they have a good second. They have a really good secondary. Their defense is gonna be crazy.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is his name.
There you go. He is he's truly
McPunchie.
He's truly a starting caliber corner though. But yeah, that's gonna be wild.
Okay. And just keep this NFC East news going because
You don't get it.
Oh shit.
Come on, bro.
I forgot this is part of injury news. Washington running back Brian Robinson was shot in an attempted carjacking. So injuries are considered non-life threatening, and it's possible that he returns this season.
Yeah, so he got out of the hospital there yesterday.
So thankfully, he's feeling better or he's getting better, and he's still here, stuff like that. It was interesting because the same time that this happened, I think it happened an hour before my fantasy draft. So as we drafted, somebody drafted Antonio Gibson. I was like, he about to be a kick return. Why would you draft Antonio Gibson? And he was like, why would I? I was like, why would you draft Antonio Gibson? He was like, why wouldn't I? And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, damn, that just happened. See,
right is why I felt real skeevy about fantasy football. I was like, I don't even want to be having I don't want to be oh man, this is an opportunity for me. This kid just got shot.
Yeah, I was like, I hear you. It makes sense. I was like, but damn, that's yeah, that's kind of it feels shitty.
Yeah, it feels a little gross.
Because I used to pour over injury reports. Oh damn, this person might miss a week. Let me go pick up his backup. It's that dude is scared for his livelihood, and I'm just fuck off of it.
Oh boy,
right.
Yeah, it's yeah. But
well, we do want to just say best wishes to him as he continues to heal, because attempted carjack or armed robbery apparently is what it was. So glad that young man was able to get out of there with his life.
I have a really bad segue that I'm not gonna make, so I'm gonna talk about injuries. Oklahoma City Thunder rookie Chet Holmgren will miss the 2022-23 season due to a Liz Frank injury that occurred during a crossover pro-am game last weekend in Seattle. The Thunder have already applied for a $4.9 million disabled player exception in the wake of his injury. So that really sucks. I'm really starting to believe that the number 2 overall pick is cursed, because if you go and look through, it's once every 10 years it hits, and the rest of them are just bust, injury. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Chet Holmgren injury did ignite a conversation around if NBA players should be playing in pro-am games to begin with, and that, you know, you should keep them, they shouldn't be allowed to, so on and so forth. And my rebuttal to that is, one, NBA players are going to play basketball. That's part of the job description over the summer. They are going to have to play basketball, whether they're playing in pro-am games, games that are ran by their trainers, whatever runs. And actually, the NBA has been streaming a lot of these runs for these players, or at least publicizing when they are running together in these, you know, summer leagues or summer games. Like they just posted Steph Curry running what I believe was Trae Young at some runs. I don't know where they were. It's unfortunate that Chet Holmgren got injured during this game, and we all know that game got shut down due to the conditions of the floor. It was not ready. It was an unnaturally humid day in Seattle that day. They had the doors closed. It was people on top of people with all their breath, and the court was sweating.
It was hotter than a black church in that mug.
But Chet Holmgren's injury was not caused by the floor conditions. It was a fast break play where he was trying to get in front of LeBron James. It did not work out. And he happened to injure himself in the process.
But I think that point about the floor is what ownership and front office and the league itself will be concerned about. It's like, yeah, you're going to run, but like, can we control these environments? Can we, you know, if it is like, we're going to, like, first of all, I think the biggest thing is that despite like streaming the games, like they aren't really profiting off of this, and like they're gonna be looking at it like, hey, if we can get people watching all this shit, like we should be getting a cut of this. That's neither here nor there. But like I think that from a player health standpoint, it will be like, hey, we need to make sure that we're putting these on in places that can accommodate these the way they look at it, these $1 million investments that we put into these players. Like we don't want them running in some rickety ass gym that, you know, like has condensation everywhere. Like we want to be able to control that environment. So if they are playing, like teams are scared about their players going and play Eurobasket. So like they're definitely going to be concerned about pro-ams where any regular nigga off the street can just be, you know, lined up against LeBron James, and how they go. You know what I mean? Like I can see like from their perspective where it's like, hey, we need to maybe take a look at this. Like we can't just let it be the wild, wild west of summer runs.
I think the point about floor conditions is well said. Like I think that's definitely something that they will do. But like people were saying, like don't let them do it. Like they're going to still play these pro-am games. But if you want to talk about the conditions that the gym has to be in for them to play, I think that's fair. And even Jamal
Crawford.
I don't know why I blinked on his last name. I was going to really call that man Jamal Crossover.
Close enough.
Crawford even said himself. He said, you know, thinking about how it was ran, like I know in the future now I should make different accommodations if we're planning to have this many people attending the games, and even just thinking about who he was able to let in the gym and who he couldn't let in the gym. He was like, I gotta be better and do different things in the future if we're going to be running these types of games with this level of NBA talent. So it seems like he agrees as well. Like we got to make sure it's safe, and he's the one who called it off, saying like, nah, this game, it's not right for them to play on this court. Like this court's too slippery. Like we got to call it. So there are some people who are mad at Jamal for all of this, and it's like he tried his best, and this time was not prepared. Sucks that Chet got hurt, but hopefully in future years the crossover can bring a lot of NBA talent to those games in a venue that's more suitable for a larger crowd.
And like I also get the flip side of it. Like
I want to say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I get the flip side of it too, where it's like those small gyms are probably in the neighborhoods where like they might not to DeJounte Murray's point, like that's some of the neighborhoods where people might not be able to afford to go to an NBA game. So like you got to put it somewhere where it's accessible to them.
Yep.
But it's like, you know, a certain NBA standard, maybe not, you know, Staples Center, but at least like, you know, a high-end high school or college level.
Yeah, and I agree. And I saw someone point out the fact a lot of reasons that NBA players enjoy playing in these pro-am games is because the environment is so different and it's more intimate than NBA games. Like they can play in the stadium at any time, but people playing these smaller gyms with the crowd on top of you a little bit, like they enjoy that environment. It's a nice change of pace for them. But yeah.
So that is Chet Speaking of teams being afraid of letting their players play in Eurobasket, Celtics forward Danilo Gallinari tore his left meniscus in a FIBA World Cup qualifying game on Saturday. The Italian national team did not provide a timetable for Gallinari's recovery, but they said there's no ACL or major ligament damage in his knee. I don't know why I can't talk today. Orlando Magic guard Gary Harris also tore his meniscus, and there's no timetable for him either. Meniscus are tricky because like there are two different ways to treat it, so it depends on whether they want it removed or repaired. Like repair is a longer term recovery, like that's what James Wiseman had. Whereas if it's removed, like you can be back playing in like 2 months, but long term, like that's where it's.
Wasn't that what D Wade had done with his knee too? Had his meniscus removed?
Yep, he had it removed. Yep.
Wow.
Like meniscus, the way they describe it is that it acts as a shock absorber for the knee.
Mm-hmm.
So once like your cartilage is gone, which rubs away obviously like the more you use it, like then you don't have that as a cushion, and then it's just bone on bone, and you're just done essentially. I want to say Brandon Roy, that was his issue too, but I don't remember. Don't quote me on that.
I think so. Well, yeah, we can check. Let me keep it NBA or not NBA. Let me keep it basketball and talk about the WNBA playoffs. We are in the semifinals of the WNBA playoffs. Semifinals are a best of 5 series, and game 1 was on Sunday. I missed both games because I was at a work event on a farm. What an experience that was, y'all! But it was fun.
You ain't doing nothing for the perception of Wisconsin talking about you going to work on a farm. They already think that's all the state is.
Hey, the event was at a farm. That's all. And they had a jazz quartet. It was classy. It was classy at the farm. Class A. But no, the road team won both of those playoff games on Sunday in the WNBA. So the Connecticut Sun defeated the Chicago Sky, and the Seattle Storm defeated the Las Vegas Aces. Game 2 for both series are on Wednesday. The WNBA is showing, both games same day. So we'll see if the home team can even it back up. But in that Sky game, Candace Parker was hooping. They lost, but she was hooping. She is the first WNBA player to compile at least 15 points, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 5 assists in a playoff game. She had 19 points, 18 rebounds, 6 blocks, 5 assists, and 4 steals. She was 1 steal short of her second 5x5 game. Oh, of the second 5x5 game in league history. And the only other person to do that was herself in her rookie season back in 2008, because Candace Parker is ridiculous.
Gold level.
And when I say ridiculous, I mentioned the fact that she had 18 rebounds. I believe the Sky only had 36 rebounds as a team. She had like half of their rebounds. Like
wow.
What's the old boy that be he's 36. It's
DC
Mark something. Yeah. Like that's definitely how she was. Like somebody grab a fucking rebound. I'm 36.
Like somebody help.
Right.
Pat Bev will.
They're gonna need to help her. They're gonna need to help her because from what I was able to read and see from the highlights, the Sun really just uglied up the game for the Sky, and the Sun like we good with that. My girl Courtney Williams is over there, and I think she had like 9 rebounds herself.
She was about to scrap with Kalia Copper. Yeah,
they was over that loose ball, and they both was like, "I'm not letting go. You let go. No, you let go."
That's like the pettiest action on the NBA on a basketball court, and it happens so frequently because you like in competition, you don't want to give no type of nothing. Like, no, it's my ball.
That's a fact.
I just looked it up. Candace Parker actually is 36.
And also shout out to Sue Bird.
She's 36.
36.
After game 1 of the Storm Aces game, Sue Bird had 12 assists, which brought her playoff total assists to 342. So she is now the leader for most playoff assists in WNBA history, passing Lindsay Whalen. So again,
And she also
game 2, Wednesday.
She has 1 turnover in the Boston.
Yeah, because Sue Bird is ridiculous as well. Like it's Mark Phillips is Supreme Dreams.
Yeah, Mark Phillips is hilarious.
RDC. It's a funny crew. They just released a skit about RPG games, and when you're trying to get a drop, like you see a character or something that you want, and you try to get. I'm not gonna ruin it. Just watch it. If you play RPGs, it's very relatable content. But Tim, what are we talking about next?
You awake over there?
Yeah, I'm good over here. I'm looking at my phone. All right, on Saturday, WWE will present a UK-based pay-per-view for the first time since SummerSlam 1992 with Clash at the Castle. Now, the thing about Clash at the Castle is, at first it was like, okay, yeah, you know, they're having it over there in the UK for a minute, and you know, it can be kind of like the Saudi events where, you know, they go in there, but they don't necessarily go all in on these events.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like okay, well, we're going to put on Goldberg out there versus Undertaker, and that's huge because that's like what they want to see. Like, no,
it's
a super house show essentially. Like, but it's not like continuity wise, like, nothing really happens.
No storylines closed up or started or anything like that. So for them to actually, and I felt that was going to happen when Triple H took over, is that he typically takes all pay-per-views seriously. Because I would think that's logical in my eyes. That, like, if it's supposed to be the culmination of this month's worth of show, make it freaking matter. Don't just give us some filler fucking pay-per-views just to take some ticket sales and shit like that, and you ain't closing up no storylines. This is the 5th time these motherfuckers done had the same match in 3 weeks. Like, now you have, for example, Riddle versus Seth Rollins.
Matt Riddle.
I'm sorry, he got his name back. Matt Riddle versus, yeah, he got a
him and Austin Theory.
So now you have Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins, and their feud has been crazy.
Yeah, Seth Rollins was getting a little personal.
Hey,
personal.
He said what he said, and Matt Riddle said what he said. Like, neither one of them was wrong. Oh, no. Seth Rollins was wrong. Seth was wrong, but it was facts.
Apparently, that was inspired by like Daniel Cormier, John Jones back and forth that happened a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it was well executed. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that just added a lot, especially that segment by itself kind of added a lot more. Okay, we need to see these motherfuckers fighting. Then they was fighting in the parking lot.
Squabbling.
Like, running up on some fan phone, had them in the parking lot fighting. Like, but they built this program since Randy's left and everything like that. Like, Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins have really been building the crap out of this program. The only question mark I have on the show, honestly, with the lineup, so you have Gunther versus hold on, I'm pulling it up. Sheamus for the Intercontinental title. Okay, cool. It's gonna be a hard hitting match. Gunther is a good wrestler. I think people still don't really understand. Like, he's a really big dude, but he's a really good wrestler. He puts on really good, solid matches. Sheamus has always been Sheamus. Sheamus is gonna put on good matches.
Is Sheamus still wearing the buggy cap?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I was hoping that would be gone, but okay.
And then you have, so my real question mark is the 6-woman tag team match.
Question mark in what way?
Because I'm not understanding why Bianca Belair has to team with Alexa Bliss and Asuka to take on Bayley and her crew when she's the champ and she's been defending her title at most pay-per-views for the most part. So I just think it's weird.
Well, remember how storyline. But if you remember how they introduced Bayley's group, it was supposed to be Becky and Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm assuming it was gonna be like a 2-on-3 type of deal, just because of how overpowered like Bianca's team would have been at that point. But Becky got hurt, so they had to pivot. Like, that's the only reason I think that this is happening. Like, they want to establish Bayley in them group.
Yeah. Which is why I would have thought they would let them win the tag titles last night, but
sometimes you don't need a title to be established, though. You can tell stories in many ways, and they so new on the scene. Like, it makes sense to give them a little time and kind of build it up a little bit more.
And I think they're trying to build Raquel too.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're really trying to build Raquel. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. But anyways, the card, you got the women's championship match, Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler. I am truly interested in it because I feel like they're transforming Shayna Baszler back into the killer she was in NXT. They've been hitting at it. I'm finna break your arms, your fingers, your whatever, like just menace.
Question: have her and Ronda squabbled yet?
No, they're not, because they buddies, they friends. They started their version of the Four Horsewomen.
Okay.
So they actually like super cool, and then which is what I'm kind of alluding to, because Ronda rolled past her and was like, "Man, when I knew you used to be a killer, like you wasn't doing this." Meanwhile, Ronda's standing there pouring the money in the middle of the ring. So it's just my finest stuff. But I just want to see Shayna Baszler versus Liv Morgan. Either Liv is going to establish herself as a better champ, or they're going to give it back to Shayna and let Shayna run roughshod.
Are they still booing? Whatever champ girl Liv? That's why she got booed after SummerSlam.
She had to call people out about it, but it is what it is. Like,
people.
I'm curious, like, because it seemed like the crowd turned on her, like they were really behind her until she won. One name back, which WWE crowds are fickle, but
very, very.
I was just curious, like, if that was like a 1 week thing or if that's actually been sustained.
I mean, it's kind of hard. I haven't heard it like as much as was that 1 week. No, but just like seeing the kind of reactions and stuff like that on Twitter and all of that shit like that, like people are okay on her. They're okay. Like it was more so, man, I love her as a person, and her fight for it and her dream for it. But she's okay. Everybody, like, if she loses, I won't be mad at you.
So she lost her.
Right.
And then have what's that?
Go ahead. No, I know you're still going through the card. Go ahead.
No, this is the last match on the card. Of course, is Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns.
I was going to ask
200. 2 years. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I heard
this when Roman loses.
That's what I say. I heard Ken say that he thinks Roman's gonna lose.
They billing it like Drew McIntyre might win this. Like, they really, the way they've been building it. Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's anti-WWE. But again, it's a new regime right now. So if they do buck trends, this will be a time to do it. But generally speaking, like, you get somebody at home, they normally lay down. So, but again, this is the first UK pay-per-view in 30 years, because 1992 was not 20 years ago. As much in my head, it feels like it was 20 years ago. It was 30 years ago at this point. So they might look to do this title change now, especially since Drew McIntyre got his title opportunity in front of a virtual crowd. He never really got to be received when he won the championship.
He was
so if they did switch it when he's at home and he's the big face, like, I can get it. I would still be shocked though, because
the pop would be crazy.
Both titles?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the undisputed championship.
I mean, the thing is, like, we never know where these stories are going. It's like if they're building Roman to something, and it's like we just got to get there. And again, granted, like, that would have been established under Vince. It seems like they're kind of going into a new direction. There is like a Rock match at the end of the road. Honestly, a Rock match wouldn't need the title, so like it would make sense to get it off of Roman, especially if he's going to be part-time for the most part going forward. Honestly, this probably is their best shot to get it off him. That makes sense, and it establishes, like, to your point, like, it gives him his signature win. It establishes a new baby face. The pop is going to be crazy, like, if you win in the UK. Although UK is different because, like, it's in Wales and he's from Scotland, so it's like it's the same country, but it ain't. It's the same nation, but it ain't the same country, or like. So it's still like, yeah, we root for him, but it's kind of like if somebody was coming to Wisconsin, like if it was a soccer match and somebody was coming, Wisconsin player, and they were playing in Texas, they'd be like, I mean, he American, so cool, but like he ain't from Texas. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't home.
I feel. Are y'all excited for the pay-per-view on Saturday?
I am actually. I plan on trying to catch as much of it as I can.
It's at a much more palatable time. Like, I ain't got to plan my night around it. Like, I can
right.
just like turn it on while I'm doing stuff.
It's like 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Well, 1:00 Eastern. So
A noon start.
Mm.
So you could have a whole wrestling day. You could start with that and then have AEW on in the evening.
No, I got feeling good.
Eve was next up.
What's headlining All Out? Or is it All Out? What is it? Double or Nothing?
Oh, it's All Out.
Do you know what the headlining match is?
I don't.
Because they just did Punk and Moxley.
And Moxley just squashed Punk.
Yeah, he wiped the floor.
He beat him in 5 minutes.
I'm not sure what the main event is, but looking at it, I see Jade Cargill and Athena are going to be fighting for the AEW TBS Championship. You also are going to have Daniel Bryanson and Chris Jericho in a singles match.
Oh, All Out is on Sunday.
Is it Sunday?
Yeah.
September 4th.
Oh, I thought it was Saturday. My fault. Misinformation.
Fake news.
Man, this card does not inspire.
It's funny looking. I mean, this is one of their big pay-per-view, so I get
this
why
is their
it's so
WrestleMania.
Long. I get why it's so long, but it's funny seeing a card with 10 matches on it. After seeing that this WWE pay-per-view is going to have 5. At the moment, there's 5.
10 matches?
10 matches.
Well, it's their WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
I think I figured it out because like they're doing this trios tournament and they have the elite in it. So I would imagine like that's going to be the headlining match, whoever they face. So the semifinals are going to take place on Dynamite and Rampage this week. So it's the United Empire from New Japan, which is Will Ospreay and somebody named Aussie Open. But then they face the elite, so Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, and then it's the Dark Order versus the Best Friends. So
come on, Best Friends. Orange
I would
Cassidy
imagine,
is my favorite wrestler. So
yeah. So I'd imagine that's gonna be the headliner match. But even still, like then it's like Wardlow and FTR against Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns.
Hey man, you're always gonna need a match for the crowd to cool down for.
But I mean, I'm saying like there isn't like another up match. I mean, I guess Danielson Jericho.
That's why I said Jay Cargill.
Yeah, but
maybe they'll let
the women gonna be a squash.
You think so?
I mean, Jade is female Goldberg. Like she don't get paid by the hour.
Yeah, I know, but Athena is what's her name in WWE?
Ember Moon.
The black chick who had the eyes.
Ember Moon.
So we'll see. Enough about that though. What's next up on the topics?
Remember I said I had a bad segue because it was about shooting and guns and stuff. Gilbert Arenas. I'm gonna blow the whistle on you, my guy. Let me thank you. I gotta pull up the clip. He was talking spicy about the freaky greeky, which I feel like we're getting to the point where hating on Giannis gets you clicks and views and shit.
I purposely didn't listen to the clip for that reason. I saw the outrage and I was like, that's totally your opinion, man. It's wrong. And I take note and I keep it moving, but I'm gonna have to hear it now, I guess.
It's a minute.
There is a true gap. I talk to people about that all the time. Yeah, there's elite, but then there's another level of elite in our league of what players look like. And what's so funny is the media tries to shorten it. They do. They try to shorten this gap like it's this, like, oh, he's the best player in the league. Not even close. Just stop it. Just stop. This gap is so big, but you're trying to always replace the next person by putting it like his work. I can look at his game and say, he doesn't understand basketball yet. He plays the sport. He won a championship. Cool. He doesn't really understand how to be great, how to be better, how to train his body. Like, I'm looking at the stats. Oh, you're playing 32 minutes, 34 minutes, 30. I'm sorry, but to be here, You have to train your body to at least 38 minutes and above. Like LeBron played 37 minutes at 37. that's a whole, that's a whole. Iverson was playing 43 minutes.
I've literally never heard minutes per game be the benchmark for
Greatness.
all-time greatness. You know what I mean? Like, that was arbitrary. You got to play at least 38 minutes a game. Like,
no, you don't.
When has that ever been a thing? Like, and LeBron played 37 minutes a game at 37, and he also got hurt. Like, that's.
And the Lakers.
He also had to play 37 minutes a game because they were losing. They were close games. It's not Giannis's fault that his team is better and they are blowing teams out so he gets a chance to rest. It's not as if when the playoffs started that Giannis still was playing 30 minutes a game. When it mattered, he put the minutes on his body, and I think he averaged at least 38 minutes in the playoffs, at least in the finals. He did. So, like, that's stupid.
Oh, no.
Like, how are you going to get mad at him when he has to show up and play those minutes, and he does it? And he does it in an effective manner where he averaged, man, get out, man. And then this is why I didn't want to listen to that clip. This is exactly why I didn't want to hear that clip. How you going to say he don't put no effort into his game when he's put on like 40 pounds of muscle, when he's transformed into one of the better mid-range shooters in the game?
Hey, he got a chip, multiple MVPs, all NBAs, but none of that matter because he don't know how to play. He know how to play the game. He don't understand. Yeah, he gone.
Put this to the side, like he won a title, like that don't really mean shit.
Hold on, run that back.
Yeah, you was a robot.
Oh, my bad. I was saying, like, how you gonna just like set aside he won a title? Like that's just like
a throwaway.
Here you go again. Shaking and baking. That nigga disappeared.
Wait, so is it that my microphone's going out, or like y'all can't see?
You started the minute you start moving a little bit too much, you freeze as you talking,
and then your mic was going.
And your mic go in and out, and then we just looking at you shaking and baking on screen.
Shaking and baking,
hair flying and flowing and shit. It's like, all right, but no, I hear what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying though. Like, you can't just put that as an aside. Oh yeah, by the way, he got a chip and he was Finals MVP. You know, but still, he don't know what he's doing out there. Like, he can play though. What kind of sense? I'm sorry, Mister. Did you get a ring?
Nope.
When you pulling guns on teammates because you yourself couldn't shoot?
Yep.
Oh. I used to love Gilbert Arenas.
And like, it's Gilbert Arenas. It's Gilbert Arenas, so I didn't take it seriously. It's just like, it doesn't, like, if you're going to have a hot take, like, at least like make it be logical, like at least make it make sense. Like, even if it's wrong, like at least make it be like something within the realm of like, we can debate about this. Because like really every reaction to this clip is just people like, this is dumb for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. Like, you got the attention that you wanted, so congratulations. But like, it's just, it's trash.
You got, it was a crappy take.
During the Bucks championship run in 2021, Giannis averaged 38 minutes a game. In addition to that, he averaged 30.2 points, 12.8 rebounds, 5.1 assists in 21 games. And as no one will forget, he dropped a 50-piece in a clinching game in the NBA Finals. In this past year in the playoffs, he averaged about 38 minutes again. So, like, the minute thing is just ridiculously stupid.
And, like, I ain't even gonna go there. But yeah, it's frustrating because it's like people, like, it's the Hooper versus basketball argument, which is dumb to begin with, but like, to a degree, like, I understand where they're coming from somewhat, because it's like, you as a player, like, you only look at like, I'm skill building. Like, people have so much respect for Kyrie because like they know how hard it is to like perfect whatever move he just did. Because like they look at it like on an individual basis and it's like, oh man, I can't do that. Like, dude must be great. And it's like, yeah, if I was 7 feet and I could jump and run and do all these other things, like I could do all this same shit that Giannis does too. Like, you couldn't. James Harden said it originally, you know, he ain't got to learn how to play basketball. Like he ain't got to do what I do because like I'm only 6'5" and I'm fat and I'm slow. But
Mr. Run and Dunk.
Right, like he just run and dunk and bully people over. And it's like, first of all, and Giannis gets gassed because he actually plays defense. Like LeBron played half the court last year, 37 minutes, but he walking on defense and just like pointing to telling people, "Hey,
I pick him up. Why you ain't pick him up?"
Like Giannis sprint back and forth like for 32 minutes a game, and that's why he's gassed by the end of it. Like it's not because he ain't trained his body, it's because like nobody can keep that up for 40 minutes a game or whatever.
That's a lot of time.
So it's either stop trying on defense, which I mean it's Gilbert Arenas. He never tried on that end anyway, or like actually go all out and put your heart into it. And
that's I wish I didn't hear that, but I did, and the disrespect is stupid. I also wonder sometimes if Giannis was an American-born NBA player, if he would be received differently. But
we'll save that. Actually brought that up on his podcast, so which I don't think is necessarily that American-born players are just like, yeah, America. Like that was his point. He's like, I don't think the NBA players are nationalistic, so I think that's a dumb point. It's like, I don't think that's why NBA American-born players look at Giannis a different way. It's just he's not in the in crowd. You know what I mean? Like he didn't grow up with y'all. Like these are people that have known each other since grade school because like elite basketball players have been playing AAU or wherever like for forever. Like Luka not in that crowd. Embiid for all his Americanization, like he's not in that crowd. You know what I mean? Like it's just this is our group. These are the dudes that I know. These are my friends that I grew up with. He don't train with them. He don't do any of that other stuff. He's not trying to team up. You know what I mean? Like I think if he was American born, like maybe he would be like more central to that. But like even Steph Curry being Under Armour, like that takes him out of the group, hating on a little bit more than the Jason Tatums of the world.
To a certain extent, yeah. But to your point, like he's familiar. Like they've known Steph for. He came up with he played in college. They are aware of him, but I won't belabor the point. We have a couple more things on our docket. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna just run through them because it's a couple things here. But I was really hoping Ken would be here. I wrote a note to myself here. It just says Camille Jackknife because I wanted to talk to you. Maybe I'll wait till next week. I'm gonna hold off on that one. So just keep in mind Jackknife. I'm gonna come back to that. So I'm just run through the last couple of things. In a recent statement from Pat Riley, he confirmed that the Heat will retire Udonis Haslem's number when Haslem finally does decide to hang him up. That probably comes as a shock to nobody. Yeah.
No, not at all. That's
I mean, the bigger shock would be him hanging it up.
He gonna leave when he want to leave.
Right, that man only 50 years old, still on the bench.
Getting an active player
contract. He's never going away.
Right. And also in retirement news, at the conclusion of their Old Timers Day, the Mets retired Willie Mays' number 24 number. Mays played with the team from 72 to 73, and he was unable to attend said ceremony because he was getting a hip replacement. Mays played in 135 games with the Mets to finish his career. And apparently having his number retired was a promise made back in 72 by their former owner. So the team was like, it was a promise that was made. We will fulfill that promise and retire his number.
50 years later?
I was just about to say,
they made this promise back in that's some wild shit. Just to throw out loud, and then everybody was like, "Oh, okay, cool, yeah, that's great."
Wait till that man was 91 years old to finally come through on a promise that you made 50 years ago.
Yep.
White people.
A jury found that the city of Los Angeles must pay Kobe Bryant's widow Vanessa $16 million over photos shared of his helicopter crash site back in 2020. So the bag doesn't change the fact that, her husband and her daughter and friends of theirs honor was sullied a bit from officers thinking it's funny to share photos of a crash scene, but the court did, award them some bag to try to alleviate that. So I'm happy that Vanessa and the family were able to win that lawsuit, because you shouldn't be doing that as an officer of the law. Like, that's not your place to be sharing photos like that.
Plus,
I think it's bullshit that the city is on the hook for that. Like, I think those officers should be bankrupted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's with any time that an officer is sued, like, an officer causes a city or a county or whoever, like, they work for to get sued. Like, that should come out their pension. It should come out of their benefit. Like, they should be the ones repaying that. It shouldn't be the taxpayers of Los Angeles County or whatever that are responsible for that, because they didn't do it.
Word.
And fired their ass. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fair.
They just gonna keep doing the shit because they don't have any personal stake in it.
That's very fair. Some WNBA season awards. Becky Hammond won Coach of the Year in her first season with the Aces.
Hey, Becky.
Ryan Howard of the Atlanta Dream won Rookie of the Year.
Cold.
Aces guard Jackie Young was named Most Improved Player, and I did see that Las Vegas Aces star Asia Wilson also won Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep, probably gonna get
Aces cleaned up. Aces cleaned right on up. And speaking of cleaning up, shout out to Bucks Gaming. They won the NBA 2K League.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2020. Sorry.
No, I was saying I think Dimes has been on the Bucks now for a season or two now.
No, he just got traded this year.
This year? Okay. He was one of the OGs, and everybody was talking about,
He was the very first draft pick of the whole league 5 years ago. His first championship. He had to come to Milwaukee to get it.
I was going to say, your 2021 NBA champion / your 2022 2K champion on Twitter. Holla at me. No, I don't care. But shout out to them.
No, big shout out to them. I watched part of the game. I won't get too much into the 2K weeds, because if you don't play 2K, you won't get what I'm saying. But the style of 2K that's meta, you see it in the league. It's like left, right, left, right, left, right. With the guards, it's like someone's hit the screen and the guards go left, right, try to get you jammed up, then they shoot a three real quick. Or if somebody cheats, they're going to pass the ball real quick. And it's like, that's like the only style of play. And it's wild that that's the only way that they play. And everyone emulates that. And let me tell you, when you go on the rec, everybody can't do that. And it makes, like, for us, when we, like, me and Tim be playing against these people, we like, if they're not good at it, it's an easy win. It's easy. But it can get boring, because, like, we've seen the same thing over and over and over and over.
Mm-hmm. And it's redundant trash.
Yep. Yep. Because I'll say this, I posted like my little 2K highlights, and I was cooking some people. I've been cooked as well on that game. Listen, when somebody is good at 2K, you can tell. Like, you can have 5 people with the exact same build, and the trash person will get shut down. But the person with the skill behind the stick, like, it's hard to stop. You just be like, what am I supposed to do? Like, you be talking to your teammates like, help, do something. I don't know what I can do. What else can I do here? He's making it. I don't know what to do. And all I can do afterwards is send them, hey, good game. Good game. Good game.
Just to put a point on it, today, August 30th, is Bucks Gaming Day in the city of Milwaukee. So shout out to
they had their little parade or celebration today earlier. I seen the little news, part of the news earlier.
Had the county exec and the mayor there.
Yeah. What's funny, you know how in the NBA, when you win a championship, you get like champagne and you be pouring champagne. Do you know what the NBA league players celebrated with?
Sparkling water.
Monster.
Bud Light. They were they was spraying cans of Bud Light.
Hey, that trophy kind of cold though.
The trophy is cold. The trophy is cold. Oh, and on this note here, Serena Williams played her first game of the U.S. Open last night. I don't know if y'all tuned in, but I would highly suggest that you tune into every Serena match, because it could be the last one. You never know how it's going to shake. And during last night's game, because it was the very first one of the tournament, they had a big celebration of her. Like, after the game, they said, win or lose, we're going to do a celebration. And it was really cool to see. It was cool to see her daughter, Olympia, wearing the same outfit as her. Serena had the diamonds in her hair after starting 20 years ago with the beads, and her daughter had the beads in her hair. And the crowd was so behind Serena. If I was the other chick, I would have been like,
ain't no way I can win.
Like, anything you do, like, boo.
Dude, whoever, let's go. Whoever does knock her out that's gonna be the biggest heel turn of 2022.
Yeah, that's a fact. So it's cool to see everybody. It was fun seeing the timeline all tennised out. Serena plays again on Wednesday. So in case you were wondering, Wednesday will be the next time you can see her play. Hopefully, I think if she can get past her next matchup on Wednesday, the road to a championship looks very doable. So I will say that. And we're going to end on a fun fact from Mark here. Packers safety, Micah Abernathy, who played in the USFL, and then was a camp body, and then he made the 53 roster for the Green Bay Packers. He happens to be the grandson of Ralph David Abernathy Sr., who was a civil rights leader and a friend of Martin Luther King. The more you know. Thanks, Mark. And that will wrap up our show this week. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I would encourage you to tune in on Thursday when we do our NFL preview show, exclusive to the Good News Radio Network, the Good News website, and our YouTube page. So make sure that y'all check that out. And buy your merch and look for some NFL gaming news from us tomorrow as well. All that being said, if you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On Twitter, Instagram, PSN, and Apple Music at Camille Monet, CamilleMonae, because the habit. Don't worry why. Just understand that's my at, so you can get me there.
It's no longer fancy. Shit, I already did it. But at your 2021 NBA World Champion and your 2022 2K League Champion Milwaukee Bucks burner on Twitter.
That's all you get.
Here. K Harris is not here, but go leave him some tomatoes on Instagram at everyday_gentleman and on Twitter at kharris216. Just a bunch of tomatoes. Don't even tell them why.
Nope.
Tomato.
Even leave some gifs of them. There's tomato, boo, tomatoes. But it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. Y'all be safe, you hear? Enjoy y'all weekend.
Oh, yeah, definitely enjoy that holiday weekend. Be safe, y'all.
Save me a plate.
I don't trust everybody's plates no more, but have fun with your plates. You know, enjoy them. If I know you, then I want a plate. Otherwise, have fun. Just keep that to yourself.
Everybody I know. Everybody
Bye, y'all.
I know.